Welcome to today's FIFA World Cup 2026 clash between Germany and Ivory Coast. What a fascinating first half we have witnessed so far. As we approach halftime, Ivory Coast currently holds a surprising 1-0 lead over Germany, and the entire picture of Group E is beginning to change. Coming into this match, Germany was widely expected to continue its strong World Cup campaign after that dominant 7-1 victory over Curacao. Many fans believed Germany would control possession, create the majority of chances, and eventually secure another important win. But football always finds a way to surprise us, and Ivory Coast has done exactly that. The biggest story of this first half has been Ivory Coast's discipline and organisation. They entered this match with confidence after defeating Ecuador in their opening game, and from the first whistle, they showed absolutely no fear. Instead of sitting back and simply defending, Ivory Coast has played with energy, intensity, and belief. Every player has worked hard, both on and off the ball, making life difficult for Germany's attacking players. Germany has enjoyed much of the possession, but possession alone does not win football matches. Despite controlling large periods of the game, Germany has struggled to create the kind of clear-cut opportunities that fans became accustomed to seeing in their opening match. Ivory Coast has remained compact defensively, closing down spaces quickly and forcing Germany into difficult positions around the penalty area. The goal that has separated these two teams so far has completely changed the atmosphere of the match. Suddenly, Germany is chasing the game, while Ivory Coast is growing in confidence with every passing minute. The longer this scoreline remains unchanged, the more pressure Germany will begin to feel. Every missed chance becomes more frustrating, every misplaced pass becomes more noticeable, and every minute that ticks away increases the urgency. Looking at the Group E standings, this result is incredibly important. Before this match, Germany had 3 points after their big victory over Curacao, while Ivory Coast already had 3 points thanks to their win over Ecuador. If the score remains 1-0 in favour of Ivory Coast, they would move to 6 points and take complete control of Group E, heading into the final round of matches. Germany would remain on 3 points and suddenly find themselves under pressure to get a result in their next game against Ecuador. From a tactical perspective, the second half is going to be fascinating. Germany cannot afford to panic. They still have plenty of quality throughout the squad, and one goal could completely change the momentum of the match. Their coaching staff will likely focus on improving movement in the final third, creating more space between Ivory Coast's defensive lines and increasing the speed of their attacks. Germany's midfield must take greater control of the game. Too often in the first half, their passing has been predictable, allowing Ivory Coast to remain organised defensively. In the second half, Germany needs more creativity, quicker transitions, and greater urgency whenever they approach the opposition penalty area. The attacking players must be willing to take risks because simply recycling possession is unlikely to be enough. At the same time, Germany must remain careful defensively. One of the biggest dangers when trailing in a match is becoming too aggressive too early. If Germany commits too many players forward, Ivory Coast could exploit the spaces left behind. We have already seen glimpses of how dangerous Ivory Coast can be on the counter-attack. Their pace and athleticism make them a threat whenever they win possession. For Ivory Coast, the message at halftime will probably be simple. Stay disciplined, remain focused, and continue executing the game plan. They do not need to change much because their approach has worked brilliantly during the first half. The defensive structure has been excellent, the players have shown tremendous work ethic, and they have taken advantage of one of their opportunities. However, protecting a lead against Germany is never easy. Germany has a long history of finding ways back into matches, especially in major tournaments. Ivory Coast cannot become too defensive because inviting constant pressure could eventually lead to mistakes. Finding the right balance between defending the lead and continuing to attack will be one of the biggest challenges of the second half. As we look ahead to the final 45 minutes, the momentum of the match hangs in the balance. Germany still has enough quality to turn this game around. One goal could completely change everything and force Ivory Coast into a much more difficult situation. But if Ivory Coast can maintain their concentration and continue frustrating Germany, they have an excellent chance of securing one of the biggest results of their World Cup campaign. Right now, the pressure is firmly on Germany. They entered the match as favourites, but football is not played on paper. Ivory Coast has shown determination, discipline, and belief, and those qualities have put them in a strong position as half-time approaches. The second half promises drama, intensity, and potentially major consequences for Group E. Germany needs a response. Ivory Coast needs 45 more minutes of concentration, and for football fans around the world, this match is proving once again why the FIFA World Cup remains the greatest stage in the sport.